Welcome to another session of questions and answers. We will begin with the first question. Please go ahead.
The first question from B. How to practice mindfulness of breathing according to the 16 steps in the Anapanasati Sutta?
When you read the sutta, you read too much. When you practice, you don't have to worry about the 16 steps. You only have to worry about the first step. Because before you can go to the other steps, you have to be able to do the first step first. And the first step is to be mindful of your breath. Just keep watching your breath at the tip of your nose. And do nothing else. Don't think about anything. Don't think, what step am I in now? Should I move to the second step, to the third step? This will come automatic. Don't worry about it. Just start with the first step. Just be mindful of your breath. Knowing your breath coming in, going out. If your breath is soft, know it. If it's harsh, if it's strong, know it. If it's hard, know it. If it's long, know it. If it's short, know it. Don't force the breath. Don't manage the breath. And just keep watching the breath.
And can the practice of Anapanasati lead to jhana?
Yes, it will eventually lead you to the fourth jhana. By keep concentrating on your breath. When it reaches the fourth jhana, it will be like falling from a high place. Your mind will fall like falling from a cliff. And then your mind will be peaceful and calm and has equanimity and happiness.
Question number 3 from Cedric. During meditation, my breathing become less noticeable and my heartbeat become more obvious. Sometimes I notice that my heartbeat moves around. Should I switch my focus to my heartbeat? Which part of my body should I focus on when this happens?
No, you shouldn't. You should stay with your breath. Don't move to other objects. Stay with one object from the start to the end, to the finish.
Question number 4. I enjoy calmness during meditation. Should I continue to observe my breath until I can feel the breath travels along my nerves?
You don't have to follow the breath. You don't have to know where the breath goes. All you have to do is just stay at one point, at the tip of your nose. Because if you follow your breath, then it starts to deceive you and lead you to various parts of the body. And your mind will be working, and your mind will not become still. So you have to stay on one place, one point.
Question number 5 from Reinhardt. How does an arahant experience deep sleep, and how does he experience the dream state? How do these states differ in his experience from ordinary unenlightened people?
Oh, I don't know that. You have to be an arahant yourself.
And question number 6. Why an enlightened person is always happy? Is it because he feels contented in all situations all the time?
Yes, because he has let go of all his cravings, desires. It's our craving and desire that make us unhappy. Never enough.
Question number 7 from Ama. In Thailand forest tradition, monks use gan khanun to dye their robes, while Western forest monasteries don't. What is the significance from a Dhamma perspective?
From Dhamma perspective, Buddhism teaches us to use whatever is available. During the time of Ajahn, the way to dye the robe is to use the wood of a jackfruit tree, because it gives out some yellow color. And The way they did in the past was to boil the water and then put the jackfruit, what you call the wood, which they chop up, and then put it in the water, and like cooking. And then eventually, when the water's boiling, the color from the jackfruit wood will come out. And then monks will then just scoop up the water and put it in the container with the rope. Because in the old days there were no detergent, there was no soap. So this is how we wash the robe, by using hot water, and with the jackfruit wood help to keep the robe, help to keep the color of the robe. So in Buddhism, it's just that you use whatever means is available at the time. Nowadays, we have different means of washing the robe. Some temples have washing machine, and robes are not permanent. The dye that is being dye on the robe is permanent. It doesn't run. So no matter how many times you wash, and the color will remain the same. So you can use detergent, use washing machine. So it changes as time changes. But the purpose is to wash your robe, that's all.
Question number 8 from Hua. Do lay people have to read 4 Nikayas, the Vinaya and the Abhidhamma?
Not really. They have to read this about 3 or 4 suttas. The Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, which is the first discourse, the Satipatthana Sutta, and the Mangala Sutta. 3. If you want to add 4, the Anattalakkana Sutta. The 5th is the Aditya Sutta, translated as the fire sermon. This is enough to give you the basic idea of what to do, what to practice.
Question number 9 from Daniel. I find it hard to overcome laziness to practice the Dhamma. How to overcome this defilement and enforce viriya in both spiritual and daily life?
Well, you have to be close to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Being close to the Dhamma, the Buddha, is to read his teaching. Being close to the Sangha, noble disciple, meet the noble disciple, listen to their Dhamma talks. You have to keep doing it constantly, because every time you listen, you will be inspired.
Question number 10. Is the state of Bhavanka the same as Appana Samadhi?
Yes, Bhavanka is the state where the mind becomes still, becomes calm. But there are 2 types of Bhavanka. Bhavanka with mindfulness and Bhavanka without mindfulness. Bhavanka with mindfulness is Samadhi or Jhana. Bhavanka without mindfulness is sleep, when you fall asleep.
Question number 11 from Bhagat. What is the difference between peacefulness and nothingness?
It's the result. When there's nothing, then the mind becomes peaceful. It's like when we are alone and have nobody around, no noises, then we are surrounded by emptiness. And when there's emptiness, then there's no disturbance. There is peace. But if you are surrounded by people, by noises, then there will be disturbances. Same thing with the mind. The mind has things that still keep working in the mind, such as emotion and thoughts and desire, which makes the mind not peaceful and happy. But when you meditate, you concentrate your mind to enter into one point. When the mind does that, it enters into emptiness, and all the emotions, thoughts, and feelings will disappear temporarily.
Question number 12. Due to my karmic situation, I can't be a monk or practice full time now. What should I do in order to be reborn as a human being in my next life and become a monk? Does it depend on my parami or a deathbed wish?
No, the deathbed wish cannot accomplish anything. You have to do the thing that will make you be what you want to be. If you want to be human, come back and born as human, you must keep the 5 precepts. Must not break the 5 precepts. And also prevent yourself from getting involved with intoxication like drugs and alcohol, and also from gambling and from playing around, going to bars and pubs and this sort of thing. Because this kind of activity will eventually might be causing you to go break the precept when you run out of money. So you might have to find money in the wrong way. So this is what you have to do. Try to stay from vices, all the vices, and keep the 5 precepts. Then you are guaranteed to be reborn as a human. But if you want to be born as a monk, a human, then you have to associate yourself with monks, with especially good monks, noble monks, who will teach you, who will train you to go in the way of monkhood, so that when you come back in your next life, you will be inclined toward monkhood.
Question number 13 from Tijandra. In Buddhism, how does an object is considered to be a living thing or a creature? Does every living creature have nama and rupa?
Object has to have the 5 sensory organs. Any object that has eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body is considered a body for the mind to take possession of, like the body of human, the body of animals. But the body of a tree doesn't have the sensory organs. So the mind doesn't take possession of the tree, because the sole purpose of the mind in taking possession of anything is for the purpose of gratification, gratifying its desire, which are the sensual gratification. The mind wants to see, wants to hear, wants to taste, wants to smell, wants to touch. So you need something that will perform this task for the mind.
Question number 14. Are plants, viruses, bacteria, and cancer cells considered as living things, and do we break precept if we cut down trees or take medicine to kill bacteria inside our body?
No, they are not considered to be living things with the mind attached to it. So it has no feeling, it has no thoughts. It doesn't feel, it doesn't know if somebody hit it, destroy it. It doesn't feel suffering. But anything that has the mind attached to it, when it gets hurt, the mind is the one that gets hurt.
Question number 15. Are all beings in the 31 plane of existence have the same nama, sankhara, vijnana, sanya, and vedana?
Yes, they all have basically they have the 4 nama khandas. But when they come connected with the human body, then they have the 5 khandas, or the animal body. But if without the animal or human body, then they will only have the 4 khandas.
Question number 16. Does the law of paticca samuppada apply in all plane of existence?
Yes, it applies to every mind, every spiritual being.
And does death exist in all plane of existence? And what do death in the Brahma realm, Deva realm, and the Beta realm like?
Death means the cessation of the present status. Like you can become a Brahma, and after a while the samadhi, the mindfulness that send you to this Brahma realm will come to an end. When you come to an end, then there is cessation of a Brahma state. Then your mind will move down lower to the Deva state. And then later on it will then move down to a human state. So death in the spiritual realm doesn't consist like the death in the human realm. Death in the human realm consists of the death of the body. But the death of the spiritual realm is just the changing of the status of the spiritual being at that particular time.
Question number 18. What is the connection between nama with citta and cetasika?
I really am sorry. I'm not very well versed with this scholastic terms. So you have to consult Google maybe.
Question number 19 from Sherry. I understand that the mind is permanent and its aggregates such as the feeling, perception, and volition are impermanent. How does the mind with all its impermanent aggregates migrate to a new body when it gets rebirth?
When we say impermanent, it doesn't mean death for the aggregates. It just means it's changing. Anicca means changing. Your thought keep changing. Sometimes you think of good thought, sometimes you think of bad thought. This is anicca. Your feelings keep changing. Sometimes it's good feeling, sometimes it's bad feeling, sometimes it's neutral feeling. This is what it means by the anicca or impermanence of the khanda, the four nama khandas. While the mind itself is the knower that doesn't change. It just merely know. But it's been influenced by delusion and ignorance that keep deceiving it to go do things that it shouldn't be doing, meaning creating desire and craving, and to cause it to suffer mentally.
Question number 20 from Patrick. I have many lifelong passion and interests, including scholarly research, classical music, nature. Do I have to give up everything and practice full-time in order to attain arahantship in this lifetime?
It depends on how much input you put in. The more input, then the more output you get out of it. So it depends what the output you want. The Buddha said there are 3 levels of output that one can get. 7 days, 7 months, or 7 years. So it's up to you to put in the input, which is the practice. The more you put in, then the faster you will achieve. The less you put in, then the longer it will take for you to achieve.
Question number 21. When I meditate, sometimes I experience a short video experience where I see people and do activities in a place that I've never been before. Can Ajahn please explain about this experience?
Yes, the mind creating these experiences when you are not mindful, when you're not watching your breath, when you're not reciting a mantra, then the mind will slowly slip in and create some videos or some images. And if you're not careful, then you keep watching it. And then you can then be influenced by what you see. You can be distracted. You won't be able to achieve the result of your practice. They're just like dreams that you do while you're still awake. Just like the dream when you go to sleep. But these are dreams that happen when you meditate. That's all. So you should not let your mind create these dreams. You have to force your mind to keep concentrating on your breath, on the mantra, continuously. Never stop. Because as soon as you stop, then the mind then can sneak in and create some videos for you to watch.
Question number 22. I practice 8 precepts and avoid physical contact with any male person, but now my brother is sick and I actually can help him by giving him therapy for 4 months. Should I help him with the therapy and not practicing the 8 precepts fully as I have to have physical contact with him? or should I let him find therapy from others?
Well, the purpose of the precept is to prevent you from doing any sexual activity. But if the purpose of contact with your brother is to help him to, and you're quite sure that there's no sexual desire toward him, then you can do it. But for some people, sometimes the mind is weak. Sometimes when they have come into contact with the opposite sex, their sexual desire can be aroused. That's all, that's the purpose.
Question number 23. If a monk declares that he is already attained enlightenment, but actually he has not attained it, will he go to hell realm due to his wrong view? What karma will he get by deceiving others to believe that he is already enlightened?
It depends on his intention. If he knows that he hasn't attained and he wants to declare that he is for the purpose of getting respect, getting money and things, then it's just like a thief, that's all. But if he says so because he truly believed, or he thought that he has attained, then he's not committing any crime, no punishment, except that he can mislead other people and can make people eventually become disillusioned with him and with other monks. Because then even if a monk has truly attained, he might not be able to say so, because everybody will assume that it's just like another monk. So it's better not to say it if you're not truly sure of yourself. And even if you say this, you have to look at your status also, whether you are believable or not. If you're not believable, even if you are truly attained, people might not believe you. So you have to know the right time to say it.
Question number 24. Can someone without the ability to meditate see ghosts?
Yes, people have different, they might have different ability from past lives. And maybe in this life they're not exposed to the practice, but they had the ability to see spiritual beings. So they could still see spiritual beings. But you have to be careful, because there are true spiritual beings and there are false spiritual beings. If it's true spiritual being, you should be able to communicate with it. Say, who are you from, what you do, what can I do for you, so forth. If it's a false spiritual being, you cannot communicate with them. You just see something briefly and then that disappear. Like today, somebody took a picture of Ajahn Suchart, Kuti, and there's an image on the post, and they say, oh, the Ajahn Suchart is standing there. You can look at the clouds and you can see the Buddhas and everybody. It's just your imagination.
Question number 25 from Yio. How do we use Dhamma in our daily life, such as handling challenges of unrealistic expectation from the bosses?
Well, you do the best you can, and don't worry about how he thinks. If he's not happy, I said, too bad. If he wants to get rid of you, okay, fine, I'll look for a new boss. Because you cannot please everybody. There's so much you can do. As long as you do your best, and if it's not good enough for him or her, then it's time to say goodbye, maybe.
Question number 26. How to practice mindfulness when I have to multitask during work?
Well, if you multitask, then you're not practicing mindfulness. You have to take one task at a time. So if you're looking at your computer, you have to concentrate on looking at your computer, not listening to the phone at the same time. You just have to do one thing at a time. Then you can have mindfulness that way.
Question number 27. If I switch from working full-time to seeking for Dhamma practice, is this considered as running away from reality and problems?
Actually, the reality that you are running from is really delusional reality. They are not real reality. When you're running toward the Dhamma, you're running toward the real reality. So it's good to run away from the false reality, like the things that you have, and you think they are human. You think there is a person in those things. These are all delusional reality. The real reality is yourself, your mind, that you want to discover. And you can only discover from your practice of meditation by following the teaching of the Buddha.
Question number 28 from Shayaka. When bad thoughts arises, is it considered as bad karma? If it's not a bad karma, why people said that we make bad karma when we think about bad things?
When you think about bad things, the bad karma hasn't yet been completed. In order to complete your bad karma, you have to say something or do something after you think. If you only think, then it's considered unwholesome karma, which doesn't bear any consequences yet. So you can stop it. When you think you're thinking bad, then you should tell yourself not to think. But when you think you hate this person and then you say something bad to that person, then you are committing bad karma, because you will then instigate reaction from the person that you said bad things to him or her. Then they will react and then create the result of the bad karma that you did.
Question number 29 from Neo. I only know how to recite one short mantra by heart. Is it enough, or should I recite long verses of sutta?
It's up to you. Whichever one you like is okay, as long as it can prevent you from thinking.
Question number 30 from Joyce. Is it due to karma when a person is born with autism? And can a person with autism practice the Dhamma?
There are many factors that make a person what he is. Some are physical factors, like you get it from your parents. Your parents has some disease, then it's transmitted to the body of the offspring. This is physical consequence. Some are mental consequence. If it's mental consequence, then it's your karma.
Question number 31 from Winston. Can we cry when our loved one passes away? How can we do it without getting attached to it?
Well, you just have to teach yourself that everything is just impermanent, everything come and go, and everything has no self in it. It's just making up from the four elements.
Question number 32 from Ferva. Is it necessary for a person to be a vegetarian in order to become a Buddhist?
No, not necessarily. The Buddha doesn't ask us to be vegetarian. He only asks us not to kill for food. But if we eat animal flesh that is already dead, then it's okay.
Question number 33 from Kim. A monk said that we can only transfer merits to our relatives, but not to people without any blood ties. Is this true?
No, you can transfer the merits for all the spiritual beings, regardless of who they are. It's just a matter of the spiritual being, which status they are in. Because there's only one particular status of a spiritual being that can benefit from the transfer of merit. We call this preta, translated as hungry ghost. These are people who break the precept for the sake of self-benefit, like stealing money from other people, those killing for their own benefit. Then they would have to become a spiritual hungry ghost. Is that all the questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much for all your questions. I hope the answer will give you some understanding, better understanding, of the practice of Buddhism. Should you don't feel satisfied, should you feel you want some more clarification, you're welcome to send in more of your questions. In the meantime, please keep on practicing. Stay well, stay safe, and happy. Thank you and goodbye.